we're going to learn today question that everyone talks, but we will see the Ramban and the Rambam how to do this question. Good morning, Larry. Good morning. We're going to learn today. We cannot hear you, Larry.
1 second.
Yeah, now I hear you. Now I hear you.
Good.
We're going to deal with the question with all the Rishonim, but we're going to read the Ramban, inside the Rambam. First, look at the Sefer Vayut, page 306. In last week's parasha, as Hashem is preparing Moshe to his mission, it's Perek Gimel, Pasuk Yutet. Perek Gimel, Pasuk Yutet. Hashem in parasha says to Moshe, "V'ani yagati, ki lo yiten etchem melech Mitzrayim lahaloch." This is before the mission begins, before Moshe goes the first time to Paro. Hashem is already telling him in advance. The results are that Paro is saying no. ולא ביד חזקה, ושלחתי את ידי, והכיתי את מצרים בכל נפלאותיי אשר אעשה בקרבו, ואחרי כן ישלח אתכם. So there are two questions. If you know in advance, it's not going to give. What are you trying to give him? One knockout. So every boxing match, knockout. Give him a cut b'chorot and finish. He's going to send at the end. And Hashem is saying clearly, yes, this is in advance. Now let's read in this week's, let's look in this week's parasha how many times? 6 up to 5 makot. Let's see by every makah. Look a second before the makot begins. Look at page 322. Look on the bottom, pasuk bet. אתה, משה, תדבר את כל אשר אצווך, ואהרון אחיך ידבר על פרעה. Moshe has the direct message from Hashem, tells it to Aaron, Aaron delivers, ושילח את בני ישראל מארצו.
They have better Wi-Fi than we do.
Yeah. Now before the Makot begins, this is before the Tanin, again, ואני אקשה את לב פרעה, אקשה את לב פרעה. והרביתי את אותותיי ואת מופתיי בארץ מצרים. And I'm going to demonstrate in many ways ולא ישמע עליכם. ונתתי את ידי במצרים והוצאתי את צבאותיי. So the obvious question, all the Rishonim, the Rambam and the Ramban, the Sefer HaIkarim, whoever you want. What do you mean you're hardening his heart? And if we follow this week's Makot, if we follow the Makot,
Okay.
Let's follow the Makot. Let's go to page 328. After Moshe turns all the water in Egypt to blood, on top of 328, ויעשו כן חרטומי מצרים בלעתיהם. Superficially, they were able to do it in interesting ways. ויחזק לב פרעה ולא שמע להם כאשר דיבר השם. Here is ויחזק. ויחזק means he has a free choice. He decided to say no. Fine. After 7 days, the Makao Tzfardea comes. Look on 328 at the bottom. Pasuk Bet. ויית אהרון את ידו על מימי מצרים, ועתה על הצפרדע ותכס את ארץ מצרים, the frogs are descending. פסוק ד' ויקרא פרעה למשה, I mean, we know the story from kindergarten. If you try to put your shoes into it, the minute the air condition doesn't work in the place where are you aware that
heat.
are you aware years ago air conditioning didn't exist? So in 95 humidity in the summer, in the middle of August, people in New York exist. But so imagine if frogs are descending on you. Here, your sandwich, a frog. Your stomach, you go to the bathroom, you go to anywhere you want. And no, imagine what the Egyptians thought. ויקרא פרעה למשה ולאהרון. ויקרא פרעה למשה ולאהרון. Now Paro cannot take it. ויאמר העתירו על השם, please pray for me. ויסר הצפרדעים ממני ומעמי. ושלחה אותם. Paro is already in a situation of very uneasy. Moshe says, tell me what exactly you want the Tzfardim to do. Look, turn the page to 330. Vayomer lemachar, yes. Paro.
Why, if it bothers them so much, why didn't you say right now?
Listen to the text. We're reading the text.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so the three. Listen good. We have a good point. Listen good. Vayomer, Paro says machar. You know why machar? Because if he says right now, maybe Moshe is a magician. Maybe he has witchcraft. And he knows that anyway they're going to live right away. Paro says that he called the shots. And let me see. Paro that Paro is doing it.
Paro is controlling it.
Of course. Maybe Moshe knows exactly how to play with the stars as my astrologist, as my witchcraft.
So he knows what
Vayomer kitvarecha. Yes, Moshe says exactly. Give me the second and the minute and the hour. Now press the button. Yes. למען תדע כי אין כהשם אלוקינו. So look a second. Pasuk Chet vayetze Moshe. You realize Paro slowly starts to. Okay. Let's go to Pasuk Yud Aleph. Vayar Paro ki hayta arvacha. Okay. All the frogs are dead. The Egyptians are storing them. The plague is over. והכבד את ליבו. The Pasuk openly says, ויפריצ'ו his heart. ולא שמע עליהם. Every time, every year when you read it, you wonder, Paro is stupid. We are the same as Paro, yes? I think that I remember one of our great teachers, the rabbi of a big community, went to Israel over 7. Back says Israel will never be the same. People are living in pain. As if nothing happened, yes? We lost thousands, hundreds of. This is life. A week passes by, nothing happens. Every time Hashem is smacking someone while he's in bed, while his leg is broken, God just remove the frogs. Give him a week. I mean, this is the lesson that we are afraid to think that we are the Paro. Each one has the character of Paro, but here we'll have anyway. By the third Makkah, remember, Dam Tzfardea, there's no more warning. By the third Makkah, you Pasuk Yud Bet, Vayomer Hashem el Moshe emor el Aaron et yetutcha. There's no more warning. So every two Makkot in the Tzach Hadash Be'achav have a warning in advance. The third one is, Al pi shnayim edim yakum davar.
Also, the two are a warning, and the third.
Everyone, you can check it here. Dam Tzfadea is a warning. It's kidding. Look at the, look at the next one. Pasuk Tetvav in page 330 on the bottom. Vayomer Hashem el Moshe, Hashkem b'boker. Can you please mute yourselves? He's going to apologize, and tomorrow you'll do it again. Please mute yourself. Vayomer Hashem el Moshe, Hashkem b'boker, התייצב, and anyway, it's a warning. Now it's Arov, yes? So now it's the fourth Makkah, you have a warning. Okay, Paro gets very frightened. Can you ever imagine if you see a bug in your house, your wife goes crazy? How about cobras coming in, leopards coming just to visit to your kitchen? We were laughing, but this is really what.
It's exactly what. I'm laughing because I know the reaction.
And there is two opinions in the Gemara. How long did every Makkah last? Is it a week or 3 weeks? There are two opinions in the Gemara. Everyone agrees that every plague is a month. Is it 3 weeks of a plague, 1 week to give you a break, then, or the opposite? It's 1 week the plague. Yeah, but a week later, all the Makot are totally the year, yes? And by Arov, it's very frightening. Look a second. But look a second and 332 on the bottom. ויצא משה מעם פרעה, 332, ויתר על השם is praying, ויעש השם כדבר משה, ויסר אהרון. They're going away.
The next stop is Church Avenue.
Close the doors, please.
Can you please mute yourself? Whoever has the mute, we listen funny noises, even though you're not talking to anyone. Mute.
He did it. Muted it.
It continues.
It's good. They muted Rabbi Pro.
So remember, Dam Tzfadea, Kelim, Arov, it's 4. Let's see 5. We have the same reaction, 5. Dever, yes? Look again, it says here. Look at 334. Now it's Dever. Remember, Dam Tzfadea, Kelim, Arov, Dever, 5. Dever, all the livestock, all the animals are dying. Look at 334. וישלח פרעה והנה לא מת, פסוק ז', והנה לא מת ממקנה ישראל עד אחד, ויכבד לב פרעה. 5 times the Torah says that Paro by choice, yes? By 6 it changes. We went one by one, Jack. Now number 6. Now remember, Dam Tzfadea, warning, Kelim, no. Arov Dever is 5, the warning is 6, no warning. Look, Pasuk Chet, this is where things are changing. ויאמר השם אל משה ואל אהרון, קחו לכם הלא חוף לכם פיח. Piach, the ArtScroll translates a furnace soot, throw it לעיני פרעה, it's going to spread all over, fine. Now look at the end of this. פסוק י"ב, ויחזק השם את לב פרעה. This is it. Paro has no choice now. Now Hashem is hardening his heart. ולא שמע עליהם. So this is the 6. 7 is the same till the end. This is Makat Barad. Look a second. So the question that the Ramban, we're going to start with the Ramban. The obvious question again, how can you give him a quote from 6 and on? The Pasuk says that Hashem is hardening his heart. There's no choice. So let's see the Ramban here. Take the
One other question, maybe it's too early. So you're saying if the pattern is 2 Hatraot, and then the third one comes unannounced. So 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and then you have it.
Makal Bechorot is,
I'm saying there's no, like, it breaks the pattern.
right. There's no, Makal Bechorot really should have been the first one, and Makal Bechorot was even Makal against the Jews. You realize? The Nes was that many didn't die, but the reason I'm a pro, you are a pro, how come we have a Siyum Erev Pesach? We were supposed to die also. Which means that this Makal out.
Overreaching.
Yes. Look at the Ramban now. The beginning of Perek Zayin. We have another Ramban here. Perek Zayin, Ramban Perek Zayin, Pasuk Aleph. Which we have one more. Yeah. Which page is it by you? I have a different page.
Kaf He, but it says Pasuk Gimel.
Which page? Which page? Of the
Kaf He. Perek Zayin, is that?
Nathan, you have it?
Yeah,
Eric Zion, Pasuk, I'm not seeing.
Ban
Pasuk
Perek
Gimel,
Zayin,
Pasuk
Pasuk
Gimel.
Gimel. Pasuk
Oh,
Gimel.
Gimel, okay, thank you.
ואני אקשה את לב פרעה. Remember, this is the Ramban is talking as we looked on Parashat Shmot. אמרו במדרש רבה, גילה לו השם revealed to Moshe in the beginning שהוא עתיד לחזק את ליבו, Hashem is going to harden his heart, בעבור לעשות בו הדין, to punish him תחת שהעבידם בעבודה קשה. Fine, it's a punishment. The Ramban is going to ask later. Hashem says to Abraham Avinu, the Jewish people are going to suffer. Why are you giving them a punishment? This was destined told to Abraham Avinu. ועוד שם, remember, the first pasuk that the Ramban quotes is the pasuk that we saw. Now, ועוד שם, this is we saw a minute ago. כי אני הכבדתי את ליבו, this is we saw before. כי אמר רבי יוחנן, please listen to the Midrash. מכאן פתחון פה למילים. Those heretics, people that are always looking to, כלומר, לא הייתה ממנו שיעשה תשובה. פרעה had no choice to do תשובה. Of course, we proved in the text that in 5 Makot, it says openly, אמר רבי שמעון בן לקיש, יסתם פיהם של מינים. אלא, listen to a pasuk, the Ramban quotes, אם לליצים, הוא יליץ. If you choose to befriend people who are light-headed and make fun of everything, Hashem will make sure that you follow what they do. If you choose society, friends, family that is more serious, this is, I'll read you how the Rav Vilna explains. If you make fun of others, Hashem will make sure people make fun of you. If you chose in the beginning, then okay. Matrebo, says the Ramban, פעם ראשונה, שנייה ושלישית, ואינו חוזר בו. Remember, this is the Ramban that quotes the Midrash. Hashem is giving a person a warning, 1, 2, 3, ואינו חוזר בו, והוא נועל בו דלת מן התשובה. Then Hashem locks the door, which means everyone has a choice. But if you're saying no, no, and no, you're locking the door. כדי לפרוע ממנו, פן מה שחטא. כך, this is the Midrash, we showed it in the text, כך פרעה הרשע, כיוון ששיגר הקדוש ברוך הוא אצלו 5 פעמים, Hashem sent 5 times, דם צפרדע הכלים הרוב דבר, ולא השגיח. אמר לו הקדוש ברוך הוא, אתה הקשית אותו, היו harden your heart, והכבדת את לבך, הרי אני מוסיף לך טומאה על טומאתך. Now the Ramban, this is the Midrash. After here, it's a quote from the Midrash. Says the Ramban, "B'nei Pirshu b'she'ela she'ishalu hakol." Everyone is asking the following question: Im Hashem hiksha et libo, if Hashem hardened his heart, ma pisho? What? V'yesh, says the Ramban, v'yesh bo shnei te'amim u'shneim met. The Ramban is giving us two answers. Nathan, what would you answer? What are you giving me? You're taking away his choice. Okay, so before the Ramban, remember the Ramban is the Ramban. The Beit HaLevi says something very fascinating. It's hinted in the Ramban. The Beit HaLevi says, even when Paro wanted to change, and he said yes, he never changed his mind. He's afraid of the punishment. So when he's saying, yes, yes, I'm sending them, deep inside he's saying, no, 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 and no. But I'm afraid from the next. I'm afraid from the next strike. Va'ani akshe et libo, not to be afraid from the quote, not to akshe et libo, to say no. It is. Had Paro changed his mind sincerely?
But Rabbi, isn't that human nature? I'm sorry.
If Paro would change his mind seriously, then Hashem, of course, would say, this is Tshuva. But Hashem knows that deep inside you never change your mind. Then I'm just giving you more strength to take the makot and not to say yes right away. But every time he gets another knockout, it's his choice to be knocked out because he never changed. He only verbally said yes. I told you once, when I finished Mela, after this, a fellow is waking up in the middle of the night and he starts to sweat and he has all the signs of either a stroke or heart attack. Okay? He calls Hatzalah, until the Hatzalah comes, Hashem, I promise you, no more Lashon Hara, finished. I'll come to Minyan 5 minutes early. I wouldn't argue with people, I would be honest. Hatzalah comes and Hatzalah says it's a problem. It's
like looking for the parking. Looking for the parking. Oh, don't worry, I promise you.
He's looking for parking. The grave. He sees the grave already. He went to many funerals. He comes, the doctor, this is a real emergency. The doctor says, listen, you have a problem, but you know how to cure it. Okay, he feels very good. He comes home after 2 days. In the first few days, a week passes by. Okay, he comes a little later to shul. Now, was he a liar? He's not a liar. He is a liar.
We're all the same.
But this is really what the story here is. Yes. Every time Paro said Paro is afraid from the next strike, he never changed.
So after the first one, was he maybe sincere? Because you're saying after the 6th one.
After the 9th, he was not sincere,
right,
because
so
he's in his.
Why give him even a warning after
To
the
teach me and you a lesson that God is running it. It's not Hamas, it's neither the South. It's only Hashem because of me and you. Our Lashon Hara, our Ben Adam Lechavero. We can curse everyone because it makes it easier to say it Hamas. I mean, what the Israelis were shocked is if you saw when the three, in the van of the Red Cross, hundreds of Hamas. What is Hamas saying? We are in control. We have people with machine guns and they're not killing because we say no to them. We are waiting for the next round. When is the next round? It depends on us, not on Hamas. Yeah, Mel, what was your question before?
Rabbi, you mentioned before about Paro, but really in the end of the given day, at the end of the given day, if you look just reflecting on ourselves, you take a person, he's not supposed to eat sugar. He's a diabetic. He's eating sugar his whole life. The doctor tells him you got to stop. And human nature is the guy, his hand mechanically goes towards the sugar bowl. He has a very, very difficult time dealing with it. So Paro, even in a more magnified state, it's a little, I understand.
But the example you're giving is a very good example, but this is what life is about. Life is, can you take your brain, which is over 88, which is the minimum IQ, and look at the grave. Go to a cemetery, look. Would you like to be there sooner or later? Yes. The challenges of life is to take this and control this. This is it. Paro is the example for us, yes? I told you, I remember Alav Shalom, this is like 35 years ago, Chacham Yaakov Kassim downstairs was very diabetic. So every day after Shachrit, he used to see it. He's not allowed to have cake. He used to see it. And people say, Chacham. He used to start to get agitated. Did we do him a favor giving him or not? Anyone that gave him a cake was pressing at the gas to go to the grave a little faster. This is what life is about. Eating cake for the diabetes guy, eating sugar for a guy who gains weight, use the iPhone while we are learning, yes, because we are
Everybody in their own level, Rabbi.
carefully, listen carefully. This Saturday night I had a ride from Lakewood to New York. My Chavruta for 35 years. He met a fellow, I don't know if you know, but thousands of people listen to Daf Yomi every day by a fellow, big businessman in Lakewood. His name is probably the best. Thousands every day. By the end of his class every day.
Shuli or something with an S. Shuli, my son-in-law listens to it. Something S.
Every day by the end, people like him not only because he explains good. Every day he has a 5 minutes life lesson. Obviously, he's a very good speaker. He prepares a lot. He's a big businessman. Anyway, this is it. Listen. It says to my friend, he came to me. He had the Sheva Barachot of his granddaughter. Says one of my life lessons was about addiction. Listen, I spoke about gambling. You know. A guy comes to me months later and he starts to cry. He says, I'm a businessman, I'm a family man, I'm religious from A to Z. I'm not a phony religious. But I was addicted to gambling. And a year ago, on Leil Yom Kippur, on the way home, Leil Yom Kippur, the night, not the night after, I took a car service and I went to Atlantic City. Leil Yom Kippur, the guy was weeping. After you spoke, I realized that I really need help. Yom Kippur, this is what addiction is about. Everyone, if he cannot control an addiction, he has a problem. Might be for liquor, for sugar, for women, for money, for power. Each one has his own. This is life. This is what this parasha is about. Forget Paro. The parasha is talking us you can see the truth in front of your nose, but as long as we in my shul today, all of them are there. Shalom, when I came as a young man, there were some people, about 10 people, students of the Chafetz Chaim. One of them told me on Simchat Torah, the Chafetz Chaim used to say, there are 2 types of jail. There's a jail that we know a jail. Guards. Then the jail is, the hospital is a jail, but there are no guards in the hospital, there are no policemen in the hospital, but you are in jail. Hashem sent you to jail. The idea is, look at your life. Why am I here? Yes. One of the advantages of a good vacation is to really look without pressure. Where am I? We're not perfect at anything. Let's raise the bar on anything. This is Paro. Let's read the Ramban. Says the Ramban, והנה פירשו בשאלה אשר ישאלו הכל, אם השם יקשה את ליבו, מה פשעו, why is he punished? ויש בו 2 טעמים ושניהם אמת. האחד, כי פרעה ברשעו אשר עשה לישראל רעות גדולות חינם, מתחייב למנוע ממנו דרכי תשובה. חינם means, of course Hashem predicted it. Hashem told Abraham Avinu it's going to happen, but why did you choose to do it? Yes? If I decide to punch someone, right? He was supposed to be punished. Me being the bully, I have to pay the price. כאשר באו בזה פסוקים רבים בתורה ובכתובים, ולפי מעשיו הראשונים נידון. מה זה מעשיו הראשונים נידון? Listen carefully to something deep the Ramban says here. Listen carefully. Many years ago, Rabbi Yaakov Galinsky told me the following. He used to travel in Israel to small communities and he lectured. Everyone loved him. He comes to a certain community in the middle of Israel, near Yavne. Okay, he gave a class. Then he says, can we have a minyan for Mincha at night? So you cannot find a tent for minyan in the middle of the day. So there is a kiosk nearby. The guy said, I can't close in the middle of the day. So go tell him, listen good, go tell him that they have to say Kaddish. People are afraid to be deaf. Kaddish is, everyone is going to end up. The guy comes. At the end, the rabbi comes to him and he says, I don't have a answer. How much money did you lose? This is in the 60s. Takes out 5 lira. I'm making up $10. So I said, no. 10. No. 20? How much can you make in 15 minutes? Says, even if you give me 1,000, I will take. Basically, what he did, he tricked me to do a mitzvah. Says the rabbi to him, listen carefully what he says to him. When you come to the world, when you come to the heavenly world, the price for every mincha is $5. You are going to be paid 100 for every mincha from day on to day. Why? Because basically, if once in your life you say that you're unwilling to be paid $100 for mincha, you set up the price. Now, of course, it's for bad and good. This is what the Ramban means. Of course, by plague 6, 7, 8, 9, Paro has no choice, but he is being punished for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know this? ולפי מעשיו הראשונים, האדם נידון. In real life, we are putting ourselves in certain situations that I cannot help it. Of course, you cannot help it now. But the choice was the beginning. So reason number 1, the Ramban follows the Rambam. Tomorrow we'll see the Rambam, but the Rambam says it in Chod Shuvah. He is saying, Hashem is always stretching his arms to help someone to come back. Once, twice, 3, 4, 5. But the point comes that the gate is locked. The gate is locked, finished. The question is the gate locked forever? The answer is, I'm not going to assist you. All the Hasidic masters are saying, I'm not assisting you. If you want to climb on your own, it's very, very difficult. Tomorrow we'll see a few Gemarot, Rav Lezer ben Dudaya and other Gemarot, the people really reached the bottom. When they decided to come back, they couldn't help it, they could die, because they couldn't. והטעם השני, listen to this, כי היו חצי המכות עליו בפשעו. Half is choice. כי לא נאמר בהם רק ויחזק לב פרעה. Yes, we saw it in י"ג כ"ב ח' ות"ו. אני say it in this Ramban. ויכבד פרעה את ליבו, הנה לא רצה לשלחם לכבוד השם. Please listen now. אבל כאשר גברו המכות עליו, as he's getting more and more, ונראה, and he couldn't take the suffering, please listen carefully now, רך ליבו, his heart softens, והיה נמלח לשלחם מכובד המכות. This is the Bet HaLevi. Not it is changing. I don't want to be striped again. Deep inside, it's a no-no. לא לעשות רצון בורא. And one of the purposes tomorrow we'll see it in the text is to teach him that there is a master to teach us. ואז, then, הקשה השם את רוחו, ואימץ את לבבו, למען ספר שמו. You meet here and there, or you read here and there stories of people that had this type of life experiences, and they learned for life. I knew a fellow, very active businessman, a regular man, like we know, fine man. You saw something changed in his life. What happened? It was a day like Sunday, like Sunday, yes. He was driving, it was a snowy day. He was driving slow, and he came to a red light and he stopped. Unfortunately, a woman was crossing in red and killed the woman. Police came, everyone witnessed, definitely not his fault. He says for him to see a body that he killed, he says change his life. Remember, so what is it? She died because on Rosh Hashanah was decided that she would die. But the fact that he was the bullet that delivered his death, even though it's definitely not his fault, for him, this was a stop sign in life. I'm running through life 120 miles an hour. I have to slow down. Says the Ramban, even when he said yes, it was not a real yes. When the Bet HaLevi says what the Ramban is saying, this is what he says. He brings them a draj that the Jewish people are compared many times to olives. What is an olive? You press the olive and the olive oil comes. Is it coming because you pressed it or because you bring the best in the olive? The pressing is a way to bring the best of the olive. So when the Jewish people are suffering and thousands of Baalei Tshuva in Israel now after October 7th, this is not because they're afraid from the next strike of Hamas, which is coming in 5 or 10 years, but whatever it is. Israel is waiting now for the West Bank. That's what the Chief of Staff said yesterday. Now we have the army, we're going to the West Bank. Massive. What is that? Unfortunately, yes, you need sometimes the strike to bring out the best. So this is the difference between Paro and us when punishments are coming. By him, he never changed. He only said yes because he's afraid. Never changed. By us, very often, when a man is punished, it forces him to look into himself and change. Everyone knows that the Rambam is using it when a husband refuses to divorce his wife. So the Gemara questions, even if you strike him, if he really doesn't want, for months and months he didn't want. So the Rambam is basically saying this idea. He always knew, even when he was stubborn, that he has to divorce his wife. But he is angry, he wants to take revenge, he wants to teach a lesson, whatever our ego is doing. He says the minute he's being struck by Beit Din and he's saying no, he said the no that he had in his heart all the time. He couldn't bring himself to overcome this ego, this anger, this revenge. Now the Makot. So tomorrow, let's just finish the Ramban. V'asher amar kodem hamakot. Now the Ramban is asking, but Hashem is telling him as we started in Parashat Shmot, V'asher amar kodem hamakot v'ani achazek et libo v'lo yishalach et ha'am יודיע למשה העתיד לעשות בו במכות אחרונות. Hashem gave Moshe a prophecy of the future, yes? כעניין שנאמר, ואני ידעתי, כי לא ייתן אתכם מלך פרעה להלוך. He's going to say no. וזה טעם, ואני אקשה את לב פרעה. Listen now to a new point the Ramban brings out. והרביתי את אותותיי, כלומר שאקשה את ליבו, קשה ליבו למען רבות מופתיי בארץ מצרים. Remember, this is, we are going to get to this Ramban at the end of Parashat Bo. It's the only time in history that for a full year, every month, Moshe Rabbeinu comes, predicts something, and it comes through, yes? I had a friend that wasn't a boss once, and the guy goes up, the guy had like, sometimes you see the bracelet with the long pair of this. And a lady had a difficult day, young lady starts to scream, Matem adati, Matem, you're not serving in the army. He takes out from his pocket, says, I served in the elite commander unit. But so why do you look like you look? Says, because I realize what life is about. Understand? He said, אני הייתי לא דתי, I was not religious. But the experiences I had taught me a lesson. It's very painful to think, yes, what the state of Israel is paying for. And there are many, many people who are shaken to the core and basic beliefs. Many people are improving, are becoming better, are nicer, and of course, as we saw before. So this is what the Ramban says, that the other Makot came to teach us, not the Egyptians, to teach us the existence of Hashem in every area which we are going. Everything is in the Ramban. Tomorrow we'll continue with the Rambam, but we'll start tomorrow with the Rambam. Have a wonderful day.
A great day, Rabbi Prague.
Thank you.